Okay.
Is it already recording?
Yep.
Hey guys, it's Lucas, Javier, and Billy with Orenda, and today we're going to have a very heated conversation on what makes a fight scene good. We're probably all just going to agree with each other. Because it's pretty obvious. But, you know, we want to explain it. So.
Okay. What do you guys think is like the most important thing?
The most important thing to a fight scene.
Animation.
Okay.
It's the spectacle. Actually, it's the eye candy.
Yeah.
That's how everyone gets it.
That's very true, but like, you know, fights like Naruto versus Pain didn't have good animation.
Some people think it's good too. So.
Yeah, like that's my favorite fight from Naruto.
Here's the thing, right? Is for me, all the different things are balanced, right? But when it comes down to it, when I go back to a fight, animation is key. I love Naruto vs. Pain, but do I watch that all the time? No.
Yeah, I don't rewatch
exactly.
it.
You don't rewatch it. You remember it and you're like, oh, it's great. But if you go rewatch it, you're like,
Yeah. So basically that's up there with like what is necessary for a good fight. Definitely at the top.
Yeah. So you look at like key shows that have great animation. You look at, you know, Naruto vs. Sasuke, obviously. Naruto and Sasuke vs. Momoshiki. You look at Midoriya vs. Todoroki. You look at Goku versus Jiren. You look at, you know, there's endless amounts of fantastic animation, and one of the things that makes animation so great is how complex it gets, right? So it's how vibrant the colors are, how complex it gets, how smooth it is. There's a lot of different, you know, things about the animation that makes it so important. What's the most important part of the animation for you guys? You know, it can be the flow, it can be like how detailed it is, how colorful it is, how complex it gets, how long it is, you know, or...
Yeah, the animation needs to be smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
like
know.
if you got a choppy fight scene and you can't even tell what's going on, like...
Well, like, what comes to mind when I think of like a smooth fight with good flow is like when Naruto is fighting Momoshiki, when he's doing the taijutsu.
And
super
like,
clean.
And you think about like, even when it comes down to like background stuff, like me and Billy just recently were watching Meliodas versus the Ten Commandments, and during the animation, the flames of, you know, that Meliodas' move produced, the animation on that was so amazing that I was just stunned by that alone. It didn't have to actually be two combatants fighting. It was actually just the flames themselves moving that, you know, made me love them. Or like Amadara doing the majestic flame destroyer and seeing all his flames just spread out. It doesn't even necessarily have to be the movement of the characters, but just how their move affects the environment around them. Which I guess that goes into the second thing, which is the environment of the fight scenes. How important is the environment to a fight scene for you?
I think it's key. I believe the environment is very key and crucial to fighting scenes because it allows a lot of like different elements and different variables when it comes to fighting. Example, the first Naruto versus Sasuke fight and how they use the waterfall and the wall to their advantage, and how they, I don't know what the jutsu is called, but they stuck to the wall and they were like cha cha cha, but then they were on the water and then they went underwater and then, oh my god.
Oh, that's right, because in Naruto you basically have to master your chakra on your feet to be able to walk on water, so that's the environment is a good element. Aquas is actually really
literally every
like,
fight
you can change the environment.
You can change the environment, you need it, and it's
like if you want to make something from stone, you gotta find stone.
Yeah.
And also I feel like the environment aspect is important when you look back on the fight, because, you know, if I were to just look at Jiren versus Goku and I don't know nothing about like what's happening, like I don't give a shit about the environment. All I'm gonna care about is the animation. And so with Naruto and Sasuke, we were talking about this. When they have their final fight, or any of the fights that are in the valley, what's it called? The Valley of Death? Hashirama basically represents Naruto.
Yeah.
And
essentially.
Madara represents Sasuke. They're always facing off each other, and I don't know, it's perfect. It's so good. Just looking back on it, honestly, I feel like it affects it a lot. It wouldn't be the same if you were to throw them in an open field.
I know a lot of people find it important to have like very complex like environment, but only if I feel like if it enhances the battle and the symbolism. And I feel like both of them are equally important. Like he was saying like, when you think about Kakashi versus Obito, it's very symbolic, you know, about both their Sharingans, is like connecting them, they're in that place. But as an environment itself, it's kind of bland, you know, it's just a flat plane. And you think about the Tournament of Power for Goku and Jiren. For a long time, it was just a flat disc, like the most boring background ever. But then they make it complex by having the whole platform become destroyed, and then there's multi-levels, floating asteroids that they have to bounce from, you know, and jump around from.
So it adds like another dimension, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So both aspects are like equally important in their own way, you know. And when you're able to mesh two, like both of them, like the Naruto versus Sasuke, you know, it just adds another level to the fight.
Another very key thing is build up, because if you pull a fight out your ass, you can have good animation, whatever, but you won't really care about the fight, because I think a lot about Shin versus Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke. Like, there wasn't really build up. It just kind of happened. He came out of nowhere, honestly, and I didn't really. The animation was solid, but I didn't really care about the fight as much as like other fights that like actually have build up, like. Like Naruto versus Pain, that has a lot of build-up. A lot.
I guess an example of good build-up is every fight in One Piece.
I feel like that's the thing about One Piece is like where it lacks in other categories, it builds up in that, you know?
Yeah, because there has to be prior events in order to like affect the fight.
Yeah.
Like Jiraiya dying.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
That's a big thing.
Hey, bro, why you gotta spoil it?
Naruto versus Sasuke. That's a perfect one. Naruto versus Sasuke. The whole series is focused on the rivalry, and when you finally see the final fight, man, is it great! Like that was solid.
Yeah.
And what other fight?
And you even think about like the original shonen, Dragon Ball. You know, you think about that build up. You see Raditz comes, kills Goku. It sets a precedence for how strong the Saiyans are, and then they're like, there's even more strong people, Vegeta and Nappa. And then you have this whole build-up of them training and, you know, trying to get strong, see how strong they are. Then you have this whole build-up of how strong is Goku and how strong has he become, you know? Well, I think that another reason why, you know, the build-up's so important is because, like, with the build-up, it allows us to care about multiple characters fighting who we may not directly see the connection to before. You think about, like, Danzo versus Sasuke. At first, it doesn't seem like, you know, people aren't rooting like, oh, I can't wait for Danzo versus Sasuke. You don't really even see that coming.
Yeah.
But then it makes sense. Oh, he has all the Sharingans on. You know, there's all these connections. How Sasuke wants the village to be versus how Danzo wants it to be, and how Danzo affected the whole Uchiha slaughter. Like, there's all these connections that aren't directly made. That when they suddenly fight, you realize, whoa, there's all this buildup I haven't even noticed. You know, which allows for a fight that you wouldn't expect to be exciting.
Steaks. You like them rare?
Steaks.
Like
Medium rare.
Midoriya versus Muscular.
I
think there's some pretty high stakes there, right?
Yeah, there's pretty high stakes.
If Midoriya doesn't win, he's basically dead.
Though the thing that makes the stakes so high in that fight is because it's his ideology versus you know Muscular more so, because it's like if he fails, like he's not saving people. That's like the whole point of being a hero, and like
he fails as a hero.
Exactly. So it's like, what is he training for? You know, he can't just back down and run with Koda, because then, you know, Muscular, who knows, he could kill his friends or whatever. He needs to like stop him from being a villain.
I don't know if stakes is that important for me though.
Okay, explain why it's not that important.
Yeah.
Because there's only like a couple outcomes now that we like talked about it. There's like, okay, you die or you win. In a couple of special scenarios, like in My Hero, like the tournament, you win, you get fame, you get agents to sign you up. You know, those are stakes. In One Punch Man, Saitama versus Boris, it's just the world's gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
Or the planet's gonna be destroyed.
And,
which is similar to dying in general.
Nobody can really connect to a whole world dying. I feel like people can connect more to like the smaller things about how it affects you personally.
So I'm just saying, to me, stakes isn't as important as those other aspects that we were talking about.
I think you're convincing me too, because really, if you think about it, when it comes to fighting is very binary, right? It's either offense, defense, win or lose. That's just how it is with a fight, and you know that's what makes fights so great. And you know, because it's just simplistic.
Or it can end in a draw.
Yeah, or like or a draw, and they all have their consequences, but usually the same. You know, it's usually. Well, with a real fight, usually it doesn't end in a draw.
Yeah,
usually it ends
in a draw.
with someone dying, unless they both decide, we don't want to fight. But usually it's just like the risk are either the person dying, the people around you dying, you know, in
Then again, you could be humiliated though, you know.
Yeah, and I guess there's certain specific scenarios
Yeah.
where it does raise it. Like, think about like the whole Donzo thing. Like, I guess those stakes were slightly higher since Donzo was trying to control a village, and he already saw all the things he's done in the past. So imagine what he could do in the future. So, but most of the time it's pretty simple.
Cause I was thinking like Naruto versus Neji.
Yeah.
Naruto winning basically.
Like pride
yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess the stakes is more so important when it's like affects like ideology and stuff.
Yeah, that's very true. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with that.
That's
yeah.
I can
Solid
agree with
one.
Yeah. Okay. A huge part of fighting scenes. I feel like techniques are so important. You look at One Piece versus Naruto versus Dragon Ball.
They're all vastly different.
Yeah.
Like, One Piece has the use of like devil fruits and just like normal weapons. Naruto has like chakra and chakra natures, all that. Dragon Ball is just
strength.
it's just insane.
Yeah.
And certain elements do better against other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon, you know.
Yeah.
Or
and,
like rock paper scissors.
you know, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's always interesting to see when they use it in a new way that you wouldn't expect. Like Goku when he skates on the other beam and then blasts the person in the face. He, instead of doing the beam struggle, he skips the whole thing and just destroys the person. Whole new thing, you know. You guys haven't.
I have another example.
Yeah.
When Luffy learns to. Oh yeah, sorry, I was spoiling it from. But when he learns basically to raise his, I think it's like his blood pressure or his heart rate or something to extend and go into like gear 2nd, gear 3rd, and gear 4th.
Yeah.
Just
Or like you think about Midoriya learning shoot style, you know.
basically taking a lot of fighting conventions and taking it out of the box. You know, we want to see the end fights. We don't just want to see raw power or just raw knowledge. We want to see like a combination of everything. You know.
Yeah.
Think about. I think you're probably the first one to describe the excitement because you always bring this up. Naruto and Sasuke versus always Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki. The connection there.
Raw power. It can't just be raw power. There has to be like some plan to it. And the perfect example for that would be Zabuza versus Naruto and Sasuke and Team 7. Basically, Naruto and Sasuke team up. My boy Sasuke throws the freaking shuriken, and Naruto he's basically the shuriken. And then once it like did it miss him? It missed him once.
He grabs one,
Yeah.
then he misses the second one under his feet.
And so then
Your boy Naruto comes up with the substitution.
yeah, he comes up with a substitution, and then he throws another one.
Yeah, and then it was
That's straight knowledge. It's not just raw power.
Yeah.
You know?
And so they reference this again in the Momoshiki fight when Naruto comes up with the shuriken, you know, and then he's a shadow clone, and then he has a Rasen shuriken, throws it, and the Rasen shuriken is Sasuke, and Sasuke teleports. Certain shows don't have like tropes. Because you think about Dragon Ball versus you know each other. It's a trope that they do the beam struggle. Like every single fight, you know, that's just like a thing that always ends up happening. But like when it comes to certain fights, that they have these very specific techniques that only can happen in that fight, and if they have in other fights, they need to be modified. Like that's how specific they are, and that's what applies to the Zabuza versus Team 7.
Yes, because Naruto and Sasuke with raw power could not beat Zabuza.
Yeah, obviously.
So they obviously had to add strategy into like what they were already capable of.
Yeah.
All right.
So this builds up to the last thing.
Hurrah! Like the last hurrah! Like
Yeah.
the most satisfying part. Okay.
You know.
Perfect example. Midoriya versus Muscular.
Perfect.
Luffy versus Lucci.
Or Goku and Frieza versus Jiren. But all of these have something in common, which is you have to give it. All the people give it their all, and there's one last move. It isn't like a whole bunch of collection of moves. It's just both combatants just giving it their all, and one coming out as the victor. Midoriya versus Muscular.
Perfect
just-
final blow.
You think so?
I really do.
Yes,
because-
bro, 1,000,000%. I mean,
Okay.
he obviously didn't hit 1,000,000%, but like,
I know. I was gonna say like that's not the same
Because-
as All Mights, of course. But I mean, I guess.
the thing about
Okay, I thought it was satisfactory, but my all-time,
Mhm.
and I'm bringing it up again, Luffy versus Lucci, because he power. I know. Okay, look, I'm not gonna spoil it too much. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
he's
spoil
not
it too
gonna
much.
spoil it too
Thing
much.
is,
Oh,
Luffy,
okay.
he knocks down and he just gets the will back up,
Okay.
and it's the way it's the scream
Mhm.
that he lets out.
bro, I freaking love those screams.
I know,
bro.
it's the scream he lets out.
Mhm.
It's the agony in his
Yeah.
voice. It's like the emotion he's pouring into all like every single punch. It's a combination of all of that.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
And yeah, I guess like if I think about those adding those factors in, for me it's kind of like Vegeta's last stand, right? Is he's sacrificing himself, you know? He gives it his all, literally. He's gone. he's dust. Gohan versus Cell. You know, like he had gotten that confidence, but at the end he starts to not believe he can do it. You know, he's still trying, but he's not giving it his all. And then it takes his dad coming back and being like, "Just do it, just like go for it." And then
I haven't even watched the fight, and I'm already getting goosebumps.
it's just like his scream, his demeanor changes, the intensity, everything changes, and he finally just lets go. He just gives it his all, and you know that's what exactly. That's the reason why it's so important. It gives us chills. You watch it, you get
Yes,
chills.
bro, that's very true.
Yeah.
Like Todoroki facing off Midoriya, that final hit.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys watched this, but in Gurren Lagann, every time he goes Giga, drill, break, and then it transforms his fucking drill into the big ass drill, and then he just it's just oh!
See,
That gives me chills.
exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. It gives us
I'm
all
sorry.
these reactions.
I'm sorry.
We all get these reactions, you know, whether it's you know, yelling or it's
know,
like
that's-
that or it's whatever.
There has to be yelling, bro.
Yeah,
there has to be yelling. Okay, leave a like.
Subscribe.
And make sure you comment and share this video if you guys liked it.
Yeah, because
Because if you don't share it.
we
Yeah.
need money. No, these videos aren't monetized.
Not yet.
Okay, yeah, ring the bell.